Welcome to Garage Geek. This is going to be a travel and haul log. So I met 5 friends and we went to a place called Idlewild. And we spent two nights and 3 days. And I'm going to show you on the map. I live here, which is in Highland Park. And so one of the friends came and met me and we drove together. And we drove this route all the way through to where it comes down here. And then we went down here and over there. And I'm going to show you another picture. And then from there, we went down into the mountains to this place called Idlewild. Now, this is the route I normally take to go to Palm Springs. So to go to Palm Springs, you go this way. Oops. And I've talked about this place before, the Cabazon, because that's where you see at the gas station, they have the Cabazon dinosaurs, and inside this dinosaur is actually a shop where you can buy things. And, you know, this dinosaur there looks like that. It's such a great place to stop. I stop by it every time, but this time we fell short of Cabazon. And thinking that whole area is desert, I didn't realize that there was a mountainous area right there, and it's just south. All we did was go south, and once you're on this road, it was from here up, as you could see, you just start going up and up and up into the mountains, and I love doing that. And you got these huge valley views. It was gorgeous. Now, the whole trip takes about 2 hours from where I live, so very doable. And we got a cabin, like I said, and it was 2 nights, and it cost us $600. And we split it with 5 people. So for 2 nights, it was $125 each. That was very, it was just such a great deal, especially because the cabin was absolutely gorgeous. I actually took film footage, but I'm not going to show my friends in this video, except for one. You're going to see her tongue a little bit later, and she said it was okay. Most of my friends, it's okay if I put them in the video, but I told them I won't, just to be courteous. But I did take one picture. I was sitting out on the deck in the morning, having some coffee and chatting with one of my friends who got up early, and that's looking into the cabin, and this is just a portion of it. It was huge, but this cabin was so beautiful. Now, this table right here is going to be very instrumental in the trip because I asked them if they wanted me to bring a puzzle, and they said yes. And so we ended up doing this puzzle. I don't want to hold it up all the way because we actually ended up doing the whole puzzle, and I took it apart so that I could put it back together again. Of course, I'm not going to claim that I did the whole thing. In fact, my friends did most of the hard parts. I was doing it. We would all jump in, jump out whenever we were walking by, especially in the evenings. I brought beer, they brought wine. I had all my craft beer cans, and I just want them drunk so that I could display the cans. So we ended up only drinking 6. I brought 12. But we ended up only drinking 6, so at least I have 6 more cans that I'm able to display. So we did this puzzle, and this, of course, and this was absolutely the hardest part. The real difficulty of this puzzle is the shape, the piece shape, because every single piece is shaped differently. Let me see if I can give you an example. For example, this piece looks like an edge piece, but it's not. It's small. We had giant pieces. We had, pieces shaped like that. It was just a wild and fun puzzle. My friends kept saying, oh, there are pieces missing. I was like, no, I don't think so. And they're like, well, you got this puzzle used. I'm like, in almost every case, every puzzle that I've gotten used, they do not have missing pieces. People who do puzzles are pretty conscientious of that. And they don't like to, sell puzzles that are missing pieces because they know it's going to be disappointing for the person who actually does the puzzle next. So I have a picture of the puzzle completed. Let me go ahead and find that. Oh, unfortunately, it's turned sideways, so it might not it's not going to orient itself well. So, sorry, it's going to have to stay sideways. There's the puzzle. It was a panorama puzzle, kind of long. And there it is to the box. And it was such a fun thing to do. Except there was one guy with us, and he didn't want to do the puzzle at all. He kept complaining it was too hard, too difficult. So when we were thrift store shopping, I actually found him a 200-piece puzzle. I think I took a picture of it. Where is it? I must not have ported the picture over. Sorry. And he did that one. He got a little bit of help from all of us, but mostly he did it on his own. That was a lot of fun, and he felt a sense of accomplishment for being able to do a baby puzzle of 200 pieces. We left that puzzle in the lodge, even though it was a gorgeous puzzle. It was actually really, really nice. It was my first time to have any contact with a Ravensburger puzzle, and a lot of people on my puzzle channel who make the puzzle videos, they all talk about how wonderful Ravensburger puzzles are. Now I understand that that's the truth. I usually don't gravitate toward Ravensburger puzzles because they have more modern artists doing the images on their puzzles, and I like the more classical or traditional type of art. But if I can ever find some Ravensburger puzzles that go with my style, I'm definitely buying them. So yeah, first experience with Ravensburger. So back to the trip. So like I said, drove all this way, and along the way, I stopped at two shops with my friend. One record store and one comic book store. And I'm not gonna shout them out too much because I ended up not really liking them too much. So, and it wasn't any of the, well, one it is, but the one shop mostly had modern comics, and even their back issues, they were all modern. And I wasn't looking for that. No fault of the shop. But it just wasn't what I was looking for. But there were some great photo ops there. They had this great, I'm going to hide my legs there. Those white pasty legs. So they had this great Darth Vader statue. And they had this also great Hulk statue. And yeah, great photo ops there. And this is what the shop looked like on the outside. And what I really liked about this shop is they had part of their wall on the outside was like a photo op. Like you could stand here and have the word bubble go with you, saying, "I will rule the world." And of course, I had to do that. I mean, how fun is that? Oh yeah, you could up there. You could see Doc Doom. Pretty cool shop. Overall, if you're interested in buying new comics or even looking through back issues that are modern, you would enjoy this shop. And the interior of this shop was actually really nice. I was going to pick up Heavy Metal #1, but I held off, and I'm going to tell you why. That story is going to come in a little while. And then so I didn't buy anything in that shop. And in the record shop, I had realized I'd already been there before, and I had a complaint about that shop. And, oh wait, I don't know how this happened. I dropped my iPad just now, and the puzzle came up that I got, the 200-piece puzzle for my friend. So that was the 200-piece baby puzzle. But it was actually a lot of fun to put together. So at the record shop, I bought 3 records, and the reason I don't like that shop is because they have so many records in bad condition, and these aren't the right ones. They have a lot of records in really bad condition, and they charge $9.99 for every one of them. There's a few records in the shop that cost $4.99. And I mean, I know right away that these albums you can get them for $1 to $3. And I realized that the last time I went. But I did some digging, and I found this album. And I know it's gross, but I've wanted this album for a while, and they were charging $9.99. And since I haven't really seen it, I went ahead and picked it up. Now, I mean, they're charging $9.99 for albums, and they don't even bother to put sleeves inside of them. And most of them are all torn up. And as you can see, this one is pretty dirty. So I'm actually going to try to clean this up, and I think it's going to look better. Like, I think I can get this off because of the shiny surface. And so, yeah, I bought that one for $9.99. And then I bought 2 laser discs, and they were, $9.99 each. But I figured since I was out and I saw them, and laser discs are getting harder and harder to find, I bought this one. I just love the art on that. And I bought this one too, the Desert Fox. I just love that full cover art, except for the small band down here. But yeah, those are the 2 laser discs that I picked up at that shop. But otherwise, I wouldn't really recommend those shops. And we ate at a restaurant called the Fat Greek. My friend picked it because of the Yelp reviews. And I will have to say that the food was really, really good, but it was so overpriced. It was ridiculous. For example, my friend ordered a soda and it was $6. And I'm like, I think that's a little extreme. And I was telling my other friends when we got there, and they told my friend, you know what, you have to Venmo him $6, because I paid. And I don't mind paying when I go out with people, but I also love to complain. And I'm not complaining because I want to get money back, but they like Venmoed me $6 just to shut me up, which was really funny. But $6 for a Coke, I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So, but the food was pretty good at the Fat Greek. Okay, so when we got to the town, this town was beautiful. We drove all the way up through the mountains, kept going up. Oh, along the way, there was a lake, and I'm going to talk about that one on the way back. But there was also a vista point. So we parked at the vista point, and you could see behind us, we had come up this way, and you could see the haze, and that's where I parked at the vista point. And then this is the view from the vista point. So you can see back here, like there's water back there and the valley, and it was just very beautiful up there. And I mean, can't go wrong with that subject in the photo. Unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of that in the pictures. I do a lot of selfies when I take pictures, so yeah, that's just part of it. There was also a lot of lavender that was in bloom, and there were bees everywhere. It was really, really nice. Smelled beautiful. But from our cabin, that's what you could see. So you could see that mountain peak. And from various places in the town, you just had to look up and see that peak. That was really, really pretty. We actually took a small drive and got as close to we could as the peak to get some pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and show some of those right now. So here's from our cabin. You could see, or it might have been in the cabin complex. On that, it was called Idlewild Pines, I think. Oh no, Takits Pines. This place is beautiful, and they even had, because it was a resort, they had a swimming pool. They had a really nice restaurant. We actually ate dinner there one night. They had free line dancing lessons, and we were going to do it, but we were all pretty exhausted. The sun was pretty brutal there, and I had been out all day, and I got a lot of sun, and that just kind of tired me out. But I'll just show some of the other pictures of the peaks and the mountains. Yeah, it was really gorgeous. Yeah, there I am hamming it up. Let's see, what else do we have? So this was a picture from the deck. So in the morning, I was looking at that tree, and I was watching as the sun came up and hit the tree. I have another picture where it's all black, and as the sun progressed, it just, the tree was lighting up, and there were squirrels running around, birds. It was really, really beautiful there. Here's another tree. I think it was a Japanese maple. It was really pretty. It was there on the complex. So now I'm going to show you some pictures in the town. Oh, wait. Here we are working on that puzzle. Well, it's just me in that picture. Now, very near there is a rock with Native American hieroglyphics on it, and we don't know how old they are. They could be relatively modern. But what was cool about it is It was right between two people's yards. Then there's this giant rock and this rockway going down. I actually filmed it. And then when you go around it, there are the petroglyphs, not hieroglyphs, petroglyphs, because petro means stone. Here's a picture of, kind of what the town looked like with all these shops. It was a really nice town. Now, the one bad thing about the town, and probably why it was so cheap, is the whole town pretty much closes down on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And that's exactly when we were there. So they're open, they're really, really popping a Thursday through Monday. And then they just everything shuts down. Although the major shops stay open, some of them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, because they know there are tourists there. But like all the small shops, like this vinyl store I never got to go to. There was a bookstore called Bubba's Books. I really wanted to go there. That was closed. So I really do have to go back there at some point just to see all of the different shops in the town. But what else they had in the town is they had all of these painted animals. That's becoming very common, and I actually really like that trend. And so everywhere you would go in this town, there would be different painted deer. And that one, of course, is based off Van Gogh, the sunflowers and the starry night. And let me see if I know I have a couple of others. I forget what that one was based off of, but yeah, everywhere you go, every block or so, you'd see one of these. They were really cool. Here's another one, actually. This one had a Native American vibe on it. But there were also a couple of things in the town that were noteworthy. Like this shop where I actually bought my husband's t-shirt. Oh, I got to grab the stuff that's over there. It's this giant hat. And they have this bear that a lot of people take pictures of. And there's another shop. There's a little square, and they have this giant wooden statue. It's actually really big. You sit right here, and it's that much taller. So I have a picture there of it. So I think so as we were walking around, there was actually one thrift store open, and so we stopped at another vinyl place. There were actually a lot of vinyl shops there, and it was closed. And then my friend said, right across the street there's a thrift store. So we went in, and it was an actual house. It was beautiful, 2 floors of a house that the owner had converted into a thrift store. And in that thrift store, I was able to find some books that I like. So I went ahead and I bought this book, Anne of the Green Gables, and it was $12. Like I said, since I was on vacation, this might be a little bit of expensive, but I was shopping, and I thought, if you see something and it's a few dollars more than you would normally spend, just go ahead and pick it up because you're out shopping. And then I kind of like this because of the wraparound cover and art, and it is beat up, but I bought some broad art, and they're coming in the mail. And so I think this is going to look really nice in that broad art. And I just really like the cover. Now, I do not know this. Thomas B. Costain, The Darkness and the Dawn. But maybe it's a forgotten book for a reason, or I don't know. Maybe it's good. So I don't know what you think about that, but that one was $10. And as I was walking out, I saw this sitting there because there was so much to see. And it was a 3-book set of Frederick Pohl. And it was $16. And I thought, wow, I grabbed it. And the first one has this, look at this awesome art on it. And this one is called The Dancer from Atlantis. Why is she dancing with a bull? I don't know. The Day of Their Return. Look at the cover art on that one. And the back is simply that. And finally, The Winter of the World. Now, probably some of you out there like Sleepy, you probably know. I've heard of this writer, but you might even know some of these books. So when I get my broad out, I'm going to have to even this out so that this is more in the center. But I thought pretty cool. But yeah, I ended up spending more than I should on those. But it was a really cool experience to walk through that house. And then, of course, we went downtown and I bought some, what do we call it? Tchotchkes. What do you call them? Souvenirs for me and for my husband. So I bought this magnet, and I bought a coaster. I have a collection of these coasters and magnets. And of course, I bought some postcards. I bought 2 of those. Bigfoot is big there, I guess. And I mean, I like more of this style, but I just thought that was funny. And it's actually, they really do go with the national park art like this. And so I went ahead and got those because they really do go with that. Like I said, I'm collecting that national park themed art, and yeah, I really went with it. And let me go back. So, like I said, we were going through the town, seeing different things, going out to the pub at night. And then on the way out, when we were leaving, we stopped at a brew pub because they were open early. And we had brunch there. And it was a really nice place. They actually had beer cans, and they looked nice, but the cans were kind of plain. And so I didn't splurge on those. So as you can see, it's Idlewild Brew Pub. But wow, it was a nice place to sit because right behind you were the woods. And you could sit out on the deck looking out at the woods. It was gorgeous. And then right around, like in the same complex on the other side of it, there was a place called El Bon Cacao that was recommended. And that's the art inside of it. And it's a small family-owned business, and they make all the chocolate on site. And they're, like I told you, so there's my friend making an appearance with her tongue. So Le Bon Cacao, and I ordered a coffee with their chocolate inside of it. And even though it was $11, wow, was that coffee good. It was so amazingly delicious. It was worth the money, I thought. And then I bought a couple of pieces of chocolate. And I was surprised because I went in and it said $3.95, $5.50. And I was like, is that per pound? And she's like, no, it was per piece. So I bought 3 pieces. And what's going to be really sad is those chocolates were so expensive, right? And as we were driving home, I was going to eat them with my husband. They melted in the car. So they melted into like one solid lump. And my husband and I just like broke off pieces and ate it. But they were still good. Oh my gosh, for those chocolates. So good. You could taste that they were just like handmade, and they didn't put a lot of sugar in it. So you could really taste the bitterness of the chocolate, which is something I really like, actually. So if you're ever in Idlewild, you really do have to check out El Bon Cacao, but make sure you bring your wallet with you because you're going to be spending. And then as we were leaving the town, there was a lake, small lake, and we walked around the lake. And it was a very short hike. Took us like 10 minutes to walk around the whole lake, but it was fun. It was a great thing to say goodbye to that mountain area and then drive out of the valley. Now, I have problems with altitude. I get altitude sickness, and we were at about 6,000 feet. And I did have a small, steady headache for the majority of the time I was there, but it wasn't overwhelming. But as soon as I got down into the valley and I did a little bit of shopping, my headache went away. So that was good. All right. So on the way home, this is where I really got to do some shopping. So on the map, as I showed you before here, there's this little hook right here where it goes from up, and this is where I did my shopping in here. And the cities are going to be called Cali Mesa and Yucaipa. I'm trying to find it right now. Yes. So got off the freeway at Cali Mesa, drove up into Yucaipa, and then went back over this way. And over in here is where all the thrift stores were. And the views of this mountain and that town were stunning. Now, I was a little bit bitter about this because this is where we ate going there at the Fat Creek. and I wasn't very happy. But leaving, coming back, and seeing this town, such a beautiful little town to walk through. So many thrift stores. The first bookstore I went to was right off the freeway, right here at Cali Mesa, and it was called Michelle's Books. And I've never seen so many romance books in my life. 2 rows. And I actually started looking through them to see if I could find any with really neat covers. And there are actually a lot. But what did... Oh, I forgot another thrift store I did. But where are those books? Actually, they're behind me. I'm going to have to get up and get them. I wonder if I can do this so that you don't have to see me get up. Yeah, they're over here. Sorry about that. So, they're in this bag. So at that store, I ended up buying these things. I'm going to show you them. So I bought this John D. MacDonald, Contact All Our Vows. Sorry, cancel. I'm reading it backwards. And that one was $2.50. Pretty good price. And he's a really famous writer. I bought 3 romance books. Pathways of the Sun. And I really liked this because of the wraparound art. And this one was $1.25. And by the same writer and artist, they came from the sea. And these are historical romance. Maybe they're good. I'm going to try them at least. Then I found this, The Master of Blue Mire by Virginia Kaufman. And I really like that kind of gothic feel to this book. And that one was $1.25. Pretty good prices. They did have books. She did have books that were higher in price. But I didn't, of course, buy any of those. The most I spent was for this. This is a great movie, San Francisco. I'm not sure if I have it, but I wasn't passing it up. I checked. I have an app with most of my movies listed, but I've been remiss in not always adding them. So I paid $3 for this. And it does have some special features. And then I should have passed these up, but for $1, she had 2 VHS tapes, and I had these before, and I actually ended up taking them all to the Goodwill and just donating them. But I figured I could watch these and then give them away in packages. But who wants VHS tapes? But I think this is a great little knickknack. Am I the only one that thinks VHS tapes make good knickknacks? I don't know. I really think they do. Okay. And then I forgot to tell you that while I was in the town, we actually were shopping and we went to some thrift stores. And there was one thrift store that was kind of on the outskirts of town. And by this time it was really hot. And it was all these sheds on this kind of dirt path. You just went in, parked. Felt more like a flea market than a thrift store. And while I was in there, I bought these. And so I got this Fires of Hell, and everything was $8. I bought this Fires of Hell. Look at that. And this is Check Force. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. And I really got lucky. I found this Carl Sandburg's Abraham Lincoln. This is something I would have paid a lot more for. The actual book art is pretty simple, but Carl Sandburg is a very famous poet, and I've known about this series for a long time, and it's a little bit dirty, but she gave it to me for $1. I mean, that was a great deal. I found this movie for $1. And it's an old movie. It's right when they were first starting talkie movies. And they give a really great write-up about it. But this is the cover I'm going to use when I put it in my thing. Instead of this, I don't like that cover. I'm going to use that one. I think that one's so much better. And also, I found 2 more movies. The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger for $1. And someone had even done the sleeve things like I do. And these sleeves are actually nicer than the ones that I buy, but they're actually thicker. And that's why I don't like these sleeves. Because look, you have a lot of empty room on the back, and this part sticks out, and I don't like that. It shouldn't really do that. And then also Smokey and the Bandit with some special features. And finally, I got this Donald Westlake The Axe. Pretty cool cover art. Remember, I got all of that for $8 at that outdoor thrift store. Okay, again, in Yucaipa, I went to a couple of shops. And in one, first of all, I went to a bookstore and I bought this book, The Fires of Paratime. I couldn't read that. I don't know who this author is, Ellie Modisette Jr., but I really liked the wraparound art on this, and it was $5. Probably I spent too much, but I just thought this would look cool and brought out, and you know, it's a sci-fi book. Maybe it's going to be interesting. And then I bought this romance one, Dorothy Eden, Speak to Me of Love. And look at this gorgeous wraparound art on this thing. This reminds me of an impressionist painting that I've seen. It's very famous with all the flags, and the flags take up a lot more room than that. But it just really reminded me of that. And I mean, look at that. It's such a cool book. But this is what I splurged on. I saw this book and I wanted it. It's in pristine condition, and it's called Oh, California. What do you think I paid for this? I want you all to think right now. Now, what it is all different artworks that relate to California with a lot of history and write-up. And I think I'm going to really enjoy reading this. I just think it's going to be a great, informative read. Plus, you get this beautiful art. So, are you ready? I paid $35 for this, but I didn't want to leave it behind, and I need to get this brought out fast because I don't want these edges to curl up, which they're kind of doing. But this thing is in beautiful condition for $35. What about you? I was asking my friend, I'm like, should I do it? And she's like, well, I don't know anything about this. I don't know what you should do. And I was like, I did it. And then there was another shop, and it was also really pretty. And he was celebrating his 12th anniversary, and he was having 20% off. I actually ended up buying a bunch in there. Oh no, right next to that other bookstore, there was a music shop where they, do guitar lessons and everything. And the guy had all this old vinyl, most of it beat up, but they were selling at $5 each. Not worth it. But I went in there were no customers, and I was like, you know what, find something in here and buy it. And I actually did. So even though this is a little bit curling right here, I thought I really liked that art on that. And this is Ernest and Sermet, Beethoven Symphony No. 1 and No. 8. And then I found another Scheherazade. I have a bunch of this. I actually really like this symphony. So I thought that was a really fun cover. And then at the shop that I was going to, I found these two albums, Broadway and Hollywood. So they're all, movie or musical related, sung by different people. But I really like that cover. And then I got this Judy Garland. This one was $4 and this one was $12, but it was 20% off. And when I went to the counter, he was like, oh, every time I get Judy Garland, she goes so fast. And I was like, it's all those gays. And he looked at me like this. I was like me. And he was like, he was kind of surprised at first, but then he saw I was joking. He was like, yeah, I guess they really appreciate, good music. It was pretty funny though. I don't think he was expecting that in that kind of small town. Sorry, I have to reach over here because I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not editing this, so sorry if you got to see something you should have. So I was texting pictures to my husband, and he said he wanted this Pinocchio. It's still in the bag. It's like a McDonald's toy. That thing was expensive. And he wanted this Pez, the Tasmanian Devil. This one was cheap because it's broken on the bottom. This one was $3, and I don't want to tell you how much this one cost. 20 bucks. But again, it was 20% off. Gosh, I'm getting so much stuff. I also bought a couple puzzles for that $8. They're sitting over there, but I won't show them because I don't want to make you have to look at me standing up again. And I think that's it. So now I'm going to talk to you about things that I got on when I was on my way home. So let's see if I showed you all the pictures. Oh, the shop where I bought the Judy Garland. This is what one section of it looked like, and he had a whole bunch of Beatles related stuff. And where are the Kiss albums? Oh, right here. He had all these Kiss albums. Like this one was $125. And I mean, they were just really high priced, but it was nice to see. And then this right in the back here. I can't get it to zoom in. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of vinyl there. That's what I looked through. And yeah, it was really nice. And he also had a big James Dean picture that of course I had to take a picture with. And this is what the town, oh, here are some more of the Pez. I sent a picture to my husband, and he didn't want any of those. But later he wanted, I sent him that picture and he saw that. I wasn't even trying to get in the picture. He's like, I want the Pinocchio. Just goes to show. And then the Tasmanian Devil was actually in the front case. And so I sent him another picture of that. This was, it's a very small town, but they had a roundabout and they had this sculpture and it was really pretty. So I took a picture with that. And I'm scrolling through my pictures. Oh, did I show you Dick's Dogs? That was a little truck that they have that goes around the town and sells hot dogs. There was some hippie art. Did I show you standing in front of the Idlewild sign? I'm not sure. Scrolling. I think that's it. Oh, in one store I asked my husband if he wanted that, but it's $65. It's a Bionic Woman board game. $65 is pretty steep though. Just for something, that you might want. All right, so that's the end of the travel tales. So when I got home, I had 2 boxes waiting for me and a couple packages. So of course, one of the package, the box that was waiting for me was my monthly comic books. And when I was with Sleepy Reader, I almost bought Eerie #1, and I told him, I put it back. I'm like, I think I ordered it. Not only had I ordered it, but I actually ordered 2 copies of it. Because from one month to the next, if they don't sell, they relist it, and sometimes you don't know. And so I ended up getting 2 copies of Eerie #1. But Sleepy, in his most recent video, he gave this a really good review, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, I am really trying to cut down on buying comics. And so I only got facsimiles. So these are the 4 comics that I got. And I really want them to put out a facsimile of number 79 because that's got a creature from the Black Lagoon on the cover. So here's Uncanny X-Men, number 136, seminal stuff. Fantastic Four, number 50. Man, Marvel and DC keep pumping out these facsimiles. And here's number 7. I believe they've scheduled at least the first 10 issues of Fantastic Four. Man, I need them to do this with the Amazing Spider-Man, please. I really would love to have facsimile issues of the original run of the Amazing Spider-Man. I'm just never going to be able to afford those. I'm not even going to try to buy those. So most of what I bought, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6 collected editions. Micronauts. Gold. I loved this stuff as a kid, and I'm so happy. Originally, I thought they were only putting this out in omnibus edition, and so when they're putting ROM and Micronauts out in Epics, I was so happy. Next, Captain America. This is number 7. We now have numbers 1. Well, let me see. We now have numbers 1 through 7. And 9 through 22. So we are missing 1 epic to make a complete run of probably, I don't know, 300 or 400 issues of Captain America. I mean, that's crazy to have the entire history of Captain America they better not stop, and they better put that out. And then this is a modern one. And you can tell the modern ones are so much more thinner than the older ones, and they're much more expensive. Now, I'm going to show you some DC Finest. And these things are gigantic. And they're $20 right now. These are such a steal. So this is Justice Society of America. This is from 1942 to 1945. I mean, this stuff is gold. I mean, look at this. Such a deal, $20. Look at this one, a science fiction, The Gorilla World. So these are all Strange Adventures and Mystery in Space. And these are from 1953 and 1954. All of this material for $20. And even though this looks like an old Wonder Woman, it isn't. This is modern. So this is Wonder Woman, The Legend of Wonder Woman. This is from 1983 to 1986. Still, great, $20. This stuff is, this stuff is gold. So yeah, that was my comic book magazine and facsimile epic collection haul. But I have two more things to show. So I had two boxes waiting for me, and packages. I actually didn't open these. I kind of wanted to open them on air, but I didn't bring anything to cut them with, so you're going to see me struggling to get these open. Oh my God. This is the third package, and now Chanko would be happy because it's got like 3 layers. No, he hates that. And so I got this Solar Man of the Atom. I got this for $10. And the reason I got it so cheap is because the cover is ripped. I don't mind. I'm going to put it in broad art. And I think with the broad art, I'll put a little piece of tape behind it. And with the broad art, it's okay. I don't mind. But to have this Golden Age stuff for so cheap, I'm actually looking forward to reading through this. And, this is all of that painted cover art. Wow, I'm really happy. This is volume 1 of the Dark Horse Archives for Dr. Solar Man of the Atom. And yeah, it's a little bit beat up, but I got it cheap. And then another one, I know what this is. I actually got this before I left, but I didn't open it up. I was so busy running around. This was another Norman Rockwell book. And this one it's a little bit bent at the top. I'll be able to fix that though. This is another Norman Rockwell, a classic treasury. Wow. It just looks like this is going to be a beautiful art book to sit and look at. So, wow, this is 40 minutes. I'm not going to edit this. I could probably shave 4 or 5 minutes, but it would take me an hour to edit this. I just want to sit here and kind of enjoy some of the stuff that I bought. And I'm not going to spend an hour editing this. I'm just going to put it up, warts and all. Please let me know if you liked the Travelogue part of this. I don't know. It's basically looking at a slideshow of my vacation. I don't know if people out there really want to do that. But hey, just let me know. If that was boring to you, it's okay. You can say, oh, skip the Travelogue. And I won't add those to the video in the future. And as always, any comments that you have would be greatly appreciated, and I always want to thank you for the support.